Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Athena in Leicester for Fight UK 6. My name's Ben Cartledge, and with me as always, Dangerous David Letherby. What a night of action we've got tonight. 12 fights on the card and no less than 4 titles on the line.
That's right, Ben. 4 titles on the line, 4 very interesting bouts. Main event of the evening, Dan Edwards taking on Fraser Opie. A rematch, Dan Edwards coming out on top the first time they fought. Going to be very interesting. And also in the bantamweight division, we've got Carsten Lenjoint for the first time at that weight, taking on Dino Gambetesa for the vacant belt. Going to be very interesting, Ben.
What a night of action, and without further ado, let's get started.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Melton Mowbray. He's 21 years old, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, and weighing at 80 kilos. He fights out of Hard Knocks MMA and has a mixed martial arts record of 1 contest with 1 loss. Let's hear it for Kyle Robinson. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Coventry. He's 25 years old, stands 6 feet tall, and weighed in at 83 kilos. He fights out of Impact and has a mixed martial arts record of 1 contest with 1 win. Let's hear it for David Lasota. This amateur contest is fought over 3 3-minute rounds, and your referee in charge of the action is Dean Weir.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, opening fight of the evening here at Fight UK 6 as Kyle Robinson in the camouflage shorts takes on David Lasota in the short white shorts. My name is Ben Cartledge, with me as always David Letherby, and a fantastic start here from Lasota, who looks to get the top position, and he's isolated that arm quite nicely.
Yeah, Ben, we always talk about in these amateur contests, it's often a big battle with your head as well as it is in the cage, and DeWitt, he's really hit the ground running in this one.
Good work from Robinson there. Escaped from that difficult position, but he's landed in the mount situation, and now he's got to be careful because he'll come the punches early on. A very bad situation to find yourself mounted,
especially this early on in the round, Ben. Excuse me. He's got a lot of time to work with. Obviously, the amateur rules, he's going to be under a 3-minute round, not a 5.
So looking to posture up to land some strikes if he can. Coming in from a different angle. Looks like he's trying to isolate that arm for me, Dave, from this position. A lot of submissions open from the mount. Some nice shots coming in. Obviously at Fight UK under the Nevada State Athletic Commission amateur rules, so ground and pound with 8-ounce gloves.
Certainly, Robinson's got to look to snake out Ben and maybe try and get half guard back here, because lying flat on his back like this is only going to ship him more punishment. As I say that, it begins to move, Ben.
And then there goes the arm, there goes the arm. Lasota goes for it, fantastic speed. He's doing really well. That is Ben at an unnatural angle.
Amazing heart from Robinson, Ben. Amazing heart to get out of that.
That was a fantastic transition from Lasota, who dived on that limb. Robinson very fortunate to survive in that situation. A great series of transitions there. What a breathless first round this is turning into.
Fantastic, frantic pace. I alluded to it earlier, Ben. At this amateur level, that adrenaline dump's often much, much larger, so it'll be interesting to see these guys in the second round, if it does indeed go that far.
Now it's Robinson on the top, in the guard of his opponent, looking to posture up and land strikes. How this fight's turned around. It was Lasota's decision to go for that submission that caused this series of transitions. And from Lasota's point of view, Dave, you can't really blame him, because that submission was there for the taking, and he did very, very well. Great heart shown by Robinson, who's now on top still and dictating the pace a little bit more.
Yeah, Kyle Robinson's turn to try the top game. Lasota looking very active, Ben. Looking for perhaps a triangle.
Throwing those hips up. And back stood up.
Both hands low on both fighters.
Sort of ducking his head a little bit there. He's got to be careful of that. If a knee comes in like we saw there, maybe even an uppercut. But a nice takedown late in the round, Dave. Very, very smart from Lesotho. In an even round, he closed it up in the last 10 seconds and got that takedown. And that was a very tactical last 10 seconds from Lesotho for me there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's got Lesotho the nod without a doubt. Of course, he came so close to finishing the fight. Carl Robinson showed unbelievable heart to tough out the armbar almost, and that's not something you say very often, Ben, with the armbar.
Again, what was this time? This time,
Fighters receiving instructions from the corner surf, and we see it, Dave. We talked about that adrenaline dump, but this will be the point where a lot of fighters say this. After that first round finishes, they have that big adrenaline dump. This is when they realise just how tired or just how fit they are at this point. You've got that time to try and get yourself ready again, to try and get yourself prepared. And both Robinson and Lesotho will be thinking, right, and that hectic first round's over, I've got to prepare for what's going to be probably an equally as busy second round initially. So middleweight action we are back on between Dawid Lesotho. Oh, and a nice Superman punch, and that Robinson, that was a huge shot. But he's got to be careful as he comes in not to catch another one.
It was almost a nice takedown. Robinson was playing possum, Ben, at that point. His hands were down, he looked clearly hurt, but then he threw a massive shot of his own.
Now Lesotho in the top position as he started the previous round, but his opponent's going to be that bit more fatigued, and he's looking to isolate that arm there. I like what for this amateur division, Dave, I like what Lesotho's shown me on the ground. He seems very cerebral. He's taking his time with these strikes and a series of clever positions.
Heavy ground and pound.
Those are some big shots, and now he takes the back as the hooks go in. Bad times for Kyle Robinson as Dawid Lesotho anchored in position. It almost looks like he's giving the neck up there. Doing the right thing to turn into it. He's struggling, and that's on. And there's the submission victory. Dawid Lesotho, Dave, what a performance. A fantastic opening bout here in the middleweight division. Kyle Robinson showed good submission defense early on, but when it mattered, he couldn't prevent that rear naked choke from coming on.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 54 seconds of round two, your winner due to tap out by rear naked choke from the red corner, Dawid Lesotho. Well, let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Kyle Robinson. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Slovakia. He's 23 years old, stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighed in at 67 kilos. He's an independent fighter, and tonight is his debut in the cage. Let's hear it for Adrian Aguilis. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 20 years old, stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighed 70 kilos. He fights out of Liberty Gym and has a mixed martial arts record of 1 contest with 1 win. Let's hear it for Jake Amaze. This amateur contest is fought over 3 3-minute rounds.
So here we go from Fight UK lightweight action. As Adrian Aguilis in the white shorts takes on Jake Mayers in the black shorts. Adrian Aguilis, Dave, making his debut so many times. We see it with debut fighters. Let's see how those nerves affect him. That big adrenaline dump of fighting here on a big stage.
Certainly, Ben. It's also worth noting that he came in a little underweight, coming in at 67 kilos in a 70 kilo matchup.
Aguilis looking to strike from the outside. That size difference quite obvious when both fighters are there at that point. Makes me wonder if Mayes is going to want to maybe close the distance and use that size advantage to maul his opponent to the floor if he can. Both seem content to box on the outside.
Gullis looks a little more comfortable for me, Ben. His movement is a little better, but obviously, as we said, Mayer's probably with the extra power being a little bigger.
Definitely, for me, Dave Gullis looks a little less frantic on the feet. There's a little bit more rhyme and reason to his combinations. Well, a nice leg kick from Mays there. A real feeling out process here as Mays throws that big kick. Gullis content to try and pick his man apart from the outside. He's clearly got a bit of a reach disadvantage, so he's going to have to come in, but those hands look sharp from Gullis, Dave.
Certainly looks like a boxing background to me, Ben. He doesn't want any part of the kicks, but his movement's great. We're going to see his grappling now.
Big takedown. And I think this is where we're going to see the differential. Going for a bulldog choke from that position. Something that we do see from inexperienced grapplers, and this is, I think, where it's going to finish. Taking the back of his opponent and locking the body triangle in. Gullis is really going to struggle from this position.
Yeah, I think Gullis is running on pure heart at the moment, Ben.
And a shot through the middle, uses that body triangle quite nicely, and now he's going to look to flatten his opponent out if he can. Goes back to the hooks rather than the triangle. You can hear Jake's corner, Carsten Lenoir there, telling his opponent to spread him out, try and land some shots if he can. I think you're right, Gullis is running on pure heart here at the moment. He's really struggling to get out of this situation.
The thing is, Ben, even if Gullis is able to escape, oh, the choke looks on.
The choke is on, and there's the tap.
I was just about to say, Ben, even if he was able to escape, Mays had the blueprint for the win. You know, he knew that he had the advantage on the ground. Adrian Gullis looked excellent, stood up, like we alluded to, probably a boxing background. Back to the drawing boards in terms of grappling. Maybe that's a real eye-opener for him in his debut.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 29 seconds, your winner, due to a tap out by rear naked choke from the red corner, Jake Mays. Well, let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Adrian Gullis. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 23 years old, stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighed in at 77 kilos. He fights out of Raw MMA and has a mixed martial arts record of 2 contests, 1 win and 1 loss. Let's hear it for Max Cotton. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Lutterworth. He's 22 years old, stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighed in at 77 kilos. He fights out of Impact and has a mixed martial arts record of 3 contests, 2 wins and 1 loss. Let's hear it for Elliot. This amateur contest is fought over 3 3-minute rounds, and your referee in charge, Mr. Mark Woodard.
So welterweight action in the amateur division here, Dave, as Max Cotton in the white shorts takes on Elliot in the black shorts. Both these men been here before for Fight UK, and a huge head kick that starts things off. One thing we know about Elliot is he's a very strong striker, but as we say that, a huge takedown from Cotton puts the fight where Outrage wants it on the canvas.
Cotton passes straight into Mount Ben. Bad news early doors for Elliot. Oh, heavy
and there's some big shots. He is out from that ground and pound. Max Cotton, wow, devastating shots from the top. Unbelievable power.
Excellent stoppage, Ben, as well. As I said, excellent refereeing, because he did wake himself back up, possibly with the shots he took, but brilliant stoppage, and what a performance from Max Cotton.
A very experienced referee, Mark Woodard. Been in there with a lot of very, very good fighters. knows the game inside and out, and you're right. I think one of those big shots did almost look like he woke him back up, and the referee saw the fact that that shot had rendered him unconscious and made a great stoppage. But from Max Cotton's point of view, that must have been the game plan 101, a huge takedown, and when he landed those ground and pound strikes, they were thunderous.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after just 23 seconds of the very first round, your referee, Mr. Mark Woodard, stops this contest due to ground and pound, declaring your winner by TKO from the blue corner, Max Cotton. Well, let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Elliot Elliott. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Slovakia. He's 31 years old, stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and weighed in at 77 kilos. He's an independent fighter, and tonight is his debut in the cage. Let's hear it for Marcin Bartek. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Melton Mowbray. He's 30 years old, stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, and weighed in at 77 kilos. He fights out of Hard Knocks MMA, and tonight is his debut in the cage. Let's hear it for Dan Hutton. This amateur contest is fought over 3 3-minute rounds.
Welterweight action here at Fight UK 6. An amateur bout between Martin Bartek in the black shorts and Dan Hutton in the red shorts. Interestingly enough, Dave, we heard the announcer say they're both debut fighters. Be very interesting to see how these two acclimatise as they exchange leg kicks from the opening. Bartek flicking a kick high there.
Both guys looking ready to strike it out, Ben. No sign of even fake of a takedown.
Both exchanging leg kicks. The clinch in. Hutton gets the fight to the floor. It'll be Bartek looking to stand up.
Good work.
Hutton just overcoming his man there. Oh, and a nice trip takedown there from Bartek. Did really well to avoid the storm there initially. Looking for a triangle. Dan Hutton sweeping those legs over the top, looking for a triangle choke. This will be a test of the grappling expertise of Bartek as how he tries to escape it. And it looks like he's just trying to land strikes from the minute. Hutton has got that locked in place, Dave, and he's turned his man over. Bartek's really going to have a struggle to get out of this, and a mounted triangle, and here come the punches. Referee taking a very close look at this. This is a bad situation for Bartek, as Hutton free to rain punches.
The triangle is not secured, Ben. Bartek's going to have to use all his might to get out of this.
A lot of shots come through. Mark Woodard taking a very close look, and that's a very good stoppage for me. Bartek took a lot of punishment. Couldn't escape from that triangle situation. And what I liked from Hutton was, when he thought that the submission wasn't on, what he did was adapted the position so he had it in the mount and just landed those punches to force the stoppage. Yeah,
excellent performance from Dan Hutton. Bartek perhaps be a little disappointed when he was initially in that triangle, Ben. He was going for strikes when he probably should have been looking for position and an escape rather than just throwing aimless hammer fists. But take nothing away from Dan Hutton. Very, very impressive.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 21 seconds of the very first round, your referee, Mr. Mark Woodard, calls a stop to this contest due to ground and pound, declaring your winner by TKO from the red corner, Dan Hutton. Well, let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Martin Bartek.
The amateur bantamweight belt will be decided as Joe Rice takes on Darren Higgins.
He's 23 years
So here we go, Dave, the bantamweight belt, the vacant bantamweight title here at Fight UK is on the line in the amateur division. We've got Joe Rice in the blue and red shorts against Darren Higgins in the black shorts with the Brazilian flag on them. Both undefeated fighters coming out of great gyms. This is sure to be an absolute cracker.
Definitely, Ben, and both fighters looking very relaxed pre-fight.
Both fighters moving around the outside. It's Rice who throws a kick there. Higgins looking very relaxed in this position. Throws in a nice jab and comes in over the top. Both fighters content just to stand outside of range a little bit. Higgins caught the kick there, but wasn't really sure whether to follow it up or hang back and look for a counter. And that's a nice leg kick from Higgins.
Higgins definitely looking for that big overhand right, Ben, I think.
I think he sees it can come against Rice. Higgins looking to jab and move, throwing some nice leg kicks there. We talked about at the start, a nice takedown from Rice. Really disguised that well for me. He looks to hoist his man up and get him straight to the canvas. That was very well set up for me, Dave.
Excellent stuff from Joe Rice as he moves into the mount position.
He lands a few big shots, and now he's almost looking to take the back if he can from here. Corner of UTC from Darren Higgins, shouting for him to turn into it. As I say that, Rice scrambles over the top and takes the back standing and goes to lock the rear naked choke in. Higgins looking at two hands on one fight, as his corner is saying there. He's stripping away the top hand, which is the defense in this position. But what an aggressive start from Rice.
He gets that hands free, Ben. I think he's going to look to go palm to palm with this.
Certainly one variation, or even the rear naked neck crank, as it called. He could pull his head across, try and extricate the chin a little bit. Higgins in a real tough spot here. And he looks to turn around. It looks like he's got the single there. He's done a very good job there. He's got to be careful of the neck. Higgins' corner telling him maybe look for some knees from this position. Very underutilized weapon, but very effective in terms of giving a fighter something else to think about as Higgins strains to complete the takedown. But Rice showing good defense. It's a real technical affair up against the cage here, Dave.
Certainly both fighters showing excellent grappling skills. Joe Rice, especially in the scrambles, Ben, looking very lively. Excellent takedown defense from Joe Rice. He switches his man back around and pushes Higgins up against the cage.
Higgins, for me, Dave, almost looks the more physically imposing fighter, and hardly surprising when we think of the fact that he's dropping down. This is his first time at bantamweight, dropping down from featherweight. An all-action first round here. Rice making the early go, and he's got to watch out for that knee. Looks a little bit low. Right on the end there. Referee Dean Weir just having a word with Higgins, telling him to watch those knees. A very close first round. And a great start from Rice. Looked at times, Dave, as if he wasn't far from finishing that fight when he had that rear naked choke from the standing position.
Certainly, Ben. Higgins showed great skill to get out of those transitions, but at that point in time, Joe Rice was all over him. Excellent work from Joe Rice. For me, he did enough to take that round. He had the big takedown, Ben, and obviously had his man in trouble with the rear naked choke attempt.
Let's be honest, Dave, I mean, we can only speculate as to what the judges are thinking, but a very close round, very back and forth in a lot of respects. The big action coming from Rice, but Higgins himself having some success getting the takedown, turning out of that position. Real technical exchanges on the fence. Fighters often criticised for working on the fence, jokingly labelled wall and stall, those kind of tactics. There was no such action from both fighters as they both exchanged takedown positions and aggressive submission situations as well.
Joe Rice joking with his corner in between rounds, as he was before the fight, so no sign of nerves here in this title contest.
A very close fight, what you'd expect here at Fight UK when you've got two really well matched, great young bantamweights fighting for that title. Even at amateur level, Dave, the titles here at Fight UK mean so much. Neither fighter wanted to make that mistake. Rice countering nicely with a nice crisp right hook there as Higgins came in and flicked the jab out. Higgins back to those leg kicks.
Higgins needs to pull that left hand up, Ben. He looks open to an overhand right.
It's a very good spot, David. It's a classic sign of fatigue in a lot of respects. The first thing you see from fighters is that the hands drop.
Rice's corner calling for hands and feet. I want him to put those combinations together. He looks for that big looping overhand right, and I think that punch is there for him, Ben.
So often we've seen fighters countered with that. Higgins lands another leg kick. I've said it before, Dave, but I'd hate to be a judge trying to score this one. A very close exchange on the feet. No fighter really trying to get a clear advantage. And as I say that, Rice lands with probably the most significant fight shot of the round.
Yep, and it was that right hand, Ben. It's definitely there for him. As you see, Higgins' hands very low now.
He's firing those jabs from his waist quite a lot. And when the hand comes back, Dave, it's not coming back high, it's coming back downwards. A crisp counter as Rice showed that he's capable of there, and there it is, that reaping right hand. You can hear Higgins' corner from UTC screaming for him to get his hands up. They've noticed the situation as well, and straight in for a takedown. Nicely set up again. And another big takedown. That is a very clever fighter. A fighter like Joe Rice, 2-0, Dave. That's incredible good. Sticking to a disciplined game plan.
Absolutely superb from Joe Rice. He's mixing up on the feet with kicks and punches, and then just when his man starts to get comfortable, takes him right down.
And now in the half guard, looking to land strikes. Looking to pass that leg through if he can. Higgins holding on from this situation in the half guard, trying to minimize the damage. But what Rice has done for me, Dave, he's put an exclamation point on what was before then a very close round.
Certainly, Ben. For me, I've got Joe Rice. He's definitely nudging it in the stand-up exchanges. He landed that big right hand. He landed some heavy-looking leg kicks. And now, as you say, dominating on the ground, looking to pass that guard.
There's some nice shots coming through. Just 10 seconds left. Higgins looking to scramble back to his feet, but Rice lands some good shots there. Both exchange up in the cage. I think Rice smells a bit of blood, and what a fantastic finish to that round.
Beautiful uppercut in that combination there from Joe Rice. I'm so impressed with Joe Rice, Ben, not only with the skills he's showing, like you alluded to earlier, the game plan of Rice. He's mixing it up brilliantly. And for Darren Higgins, he's now wondering, where does he go in this round, Ben? Does he keep it stood up? Because he seemed to struggle with Rice in the grappling department.
It's a very, very close fight, and I think the fact that Rice has come forward and initiated the takedowns has kind of almost taken it out of Higgins' hands, really. His fight isn't his to kind of dictate. He feels like he's being pushed back. Rice is timing the overhand right. He's landed a couple of them. Higgins will almost be questioning, like you say, what he's got to do. Where does he take this fight? Does he look to get the takedown and maybe land some shots from the top? Because on the feet, he's landing a selection of leg kicks, but the danger's always there from that overhand right from Joe Rice.
Yeah, and it's obviously the corner man's job. Excellent team there over at UTC. They need to be telling him, listen, you're open to that right hand, because Joe Rice has come close on a couple of occasions. He's clipped him once. If he lands big, it could finish the fight.
And let's be honest, Dave, from Higgins' point of view, his corner in the UTC, very experienced gym, a great bunch of guys for him to work with. They're surely going to be telling Higgins, look, one round definitely, potentially 2 rounds in the hole, you're going to have to go for broke here, and maybe that's what we'll see as Higgins comes forward. But Rice once again calmly, and there's a nice knee. The two exchanging the clinch. Oh, Higgins swinging wild there, doesn't quite catch his man. Oh, he's letting the hands go now, and this is what he needed to do, but a beautiful counter from Rice, Dave.
Brilliant
Higgins
work.
came in, knew he had to come forward and make this fight kind of happen almost. But the problem with someone like Higgins is he came forward like that. You do half your opponent's work for him when you're rushing forward. Rice only had to cut down half the distance and shot underneath beautifully with that well-timed takedown. And now he's on the top and he'll be looking to dictate the pace.
It really shows how important the mental side of the game is. Higgins, I think he had Joe Rice hurt, but he, as you say, got a little over anxious, and Joe Rice, he knew he was hurt, secured the takedown, and now he looks to work that top position again.
Rice finds himself in the side control position, and now he'll be looking to work from here, maybe step over with the left leg if he can, or just to land strikes. I mean, these shorter rounds in the amateur ranks, it doesn't give fighters a lot less time, a lot of time to work in these situations.
Looking for a DAS, Ben, I think.
He does it like he's trying to thread the hands through to get the DAS there. Needs to grab his own bicep and pull forward. This is a very, very tight choker. Referee Dean Weir taking a close look at the situation. I just don't think he can thread the hands through.
Corner man calls for his fight to go perpendicular.
And he's locked that choke on. We can see referee Dean Weir taking a very close look at the situation. The hand looks like it's almost ready to tap. But I think that gap is just, we saw a big deep breath of air from Higgins there. I think that gap just kept him alive there, Dave, when he needed it to.
It's always a catch-22 situation, Ben. How long, as Joe Rice, do you hold on to this choke? Because obviously it's sapping his own energy in his arms, trying to secure this DAS.
Now in the half guard position. Rice on top. Looking to get that right leg through if he can. And get the mount situation, try and finish this round in a dominant fashion. And he's gone through and he elected to go through the half guard, side control, excuse me, and then push through with knee on belly. I like the fact that he's rushing his opponent with these transitions. He's not giving him time to think. What a performance from young Joe Rice.
Absolutely spectacular performance, Ben, really in every range. He even showed the tie clinch earlier and he moves around to take the back of Higgins.
Higgins' corner screaming for him to turn into his opponent. And Joe Rice landed some big hammer fists. UTC in the corner, Darren Higgins screaming for him to get up, but with 10 seconds left, there's a big shot coming through. Rice landed some strikes, finishing this in style. This is the way to win a title, Dave. Joe Rice has put on a fantastic performance, and what a bantamweight title fight that was. Crowd on the feet, and rightfully so. What a fight.
Absolutely fantastic performance from Joe Rice. Surely on the way to pick up the title, Ben. Absolutely amazing in all ranges. He mixed it up, he secured the takedowns, he showed skills on the feet. Fantastic fight. Credit to Darren Higgins for sticking in there with him, Ben.
Darren Higgins showed a lot of heart, especially in the third in that very tough choke. Looked on at certain points, but he just couldn't get the technique perfect as to render his opponent ready to tap or unconscious. But from Rice's point of view, what a performance. The key for me was the timing on those takedowns, Dave. He got one takedown per round, and the timing on them was absolutely spot on. Set up differently.
And once there, Ben, the work rate was phenomenal. You know, he's working in the scrambles and the different transitions. He just never stopped moving, Joe Rice.
I'm here with Joe Rice, who's just picked up the Fight UK amateur bantamweight title. Joe, what a fantastic fight. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
Yeah, a very good fight. Quite back and forth, I thought, but apparently I won it every round, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy to do a bit of a stand-up in the fight as well. I hadn't really stood up with my other opponents, so I'm pleased with it, yeah.
Fantastic, and is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Dean Kiss, who sponsors me, everyone who's come to watch me, and my coaches who have come down today, and my family for when I'm training, because I'm miserable as sin.
That's fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Rice, your Fight UK amateur bantamweight champion. The amateur featherweight belt is on the line as Lewis Gannon takes on Sean Kelly.
Let's do it for Lewis. 27 years old. Stands 5 inches tall and weighing 65 kilos. He fights out of UTC. He has a with 2 matches with 2 wins. Let's hear it for Sean
So the second of our title fights here at Fight UK 6. I'm Ben Cartledge, with me David Letherby. The amateur featherweight belt on the line as Lewis Gannon from Gannon's Black Belt Academy takes on Sean Kelly from UTC. Kelly in the black and white bad boy shorts, and Gannon straight in for the takedown and a huge slam.
Gannon now inside control. Kelly possibly a pretty shocked up by that, Ben.
Definitely
early in the round.
It was a huge takedown. Gannon, known for his tough wrestling. We've seen him in the fights that he's had in Fight UK before. Utilised some great wrestling, some good game planning. Kelly himself shown good wrestling. For me, Dave, both of these things with these fighters is they're both undefeated. Both of them know how to win, and neither of them will want to lose, especially not with a title on the line.
Sean Kelly's done well to get back to his feet. Unorthodox clinch position now. Looking to get some knees on the inside.
Real dangerous position for both fighters, this. Neither really in a position should a good knee come straight through the middle to do a lot from an avoidance with both their arms being tied up. As Gannon separates. Oh, and a nice shot from Kelly there. A short chopping right hand. I think that hurt his opponent.
Lovely chopping right. He looks to work that dirty boxing, but as I say that, Gannon pulls the plum tie clinch.
Nice shot on the break from the clinch. So often we see that, Dave, the importance of fighters throwing a shot on the break. Kelly threw a nice crisp right hook, and there's another shoot for the takedown. Didn't really set it up as well as his earlier one, which is probably why he's not having as much success, coupled with a good sprawl from Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly's definitely open to that attack now from Gannon. He's aware of the wrestling prowess, and he's changed his stance accordingly.
A nice shot over the top from Kelly. I think there's a home for that right hand. He's found it a couple of times.
Beautiful sprawl.
A really deep sprawl. And so often we see David's giving him the ability, the opportunity to take the back of his opponent. And with Gannon turtled up, and there he takes the back, and he's got the arm locked up. That was cerebral the way he took the back. As you can see, he's got the right arm pinned through with his right hook there. This is a bad situation for Lewis Gannon to be in as he looks to isolate the other arm. This is some fantastic grappling, Dave, from Sean Kelly.
Beautiful work from Kelly, Ben. Looks for the choke. He's gone palm to palm.
He's pulling that choke on tight. That looks tight. And there's the tap. There is the tap from Sean Kelly. For me, Dave, the second he took that back, it was an effortless transition as he isolated the arm as he came through it as well. What a fantastic finish from Sean Kelly, your new amateur featherweight champion.
Fantastic performance from Kelly. The massive slam from Gannon at the start of the round, I think, took him back a bit. He didn't know where to go from there, worked his way back up to the feet, and then he showed an excellent sprawl, so he learned from that takedown. And as you alluded to, Gannon wasn't really setting it up like he did in that initial point. Snake round to get the back, and from there it was the beginning of the end. Fantastic performance from Kelly.
Here at Fight UK 6 with the new Fight UK amateur featherweight champion Sean Kelly. Sean, what a fight that was. Gannon coming out with a big takedown. Did he surprise you with his wrestling early on?
I knew Gannon was a good wrestler. He actually surprised me with how strong and tight he was when he got me on the floor. But I knew he's a bit of a front runner, as in he'll come out really heavy but then he'll back off. So my plan was as soon as he backs off, get straight back on him and get in his face. It paid off.
And the way you took his back, that was really, really slick. Is that something you've been working on training, the way you took his back and you had the arm isolated as well?
As Gunnar was a wrestler, to be honest, I didn't really do any specific training. I just trained my fitness as much as I could. So that was a game plan to put the pressure on him.
Well, that's fantastic. And is there anybody you'd like to thank for this title and for what this means to you?
I'd like to thank all my fans that are in the crowd, everybody that's wished me good luck. USN, Bad Boy, UTC, the Night Shorts, the belt, all my training partners, Rich Hall for pushing my cardio, and all the rest of the coaches and training partners.
That's fantastic. Sean Kelly here at Fight UK 6, your new featherweight champion. A hard-hitting heavyweight encounter for you now as Chris Flanders takes on James Hurrell.
My name is Chris Flanders, fighting out of Raw MMA. Just weighed in 242 pounds and my record's 2-0. His record's 3-2. He's a bit taller than I am, but a bit lighter as well. His fights tend to go down to the ground, and they tend to stay on the ground once they've gone down there. I think that I'll be too strong for him. I think that I'm too strong in my striking, and I think that my ground game will be a lot more aggressive than his as well. So yeah, confident on this one. I'll take it wherever it is, wherever it goes. If it goes to the ground, it'll be going to the ground on my terms. So in that case, he'll be in the worst position, and it'll be looking for either the ground and pound, or I'll take a submission if it's there. But obviously, all fights start with stand up, so we'll take it from there. It's a fight, and I'm looking for the win. So yeah, I'll take it however it comes.
I'm James Hurrell, record of 3-2, fight out of Hard Knocks MMA over in Melton, and from Leicester. Don't know much about him, to be honest. I've not been focusing on him rather than me. Just, you know, trying to get in the best shape as I can. Heavyweight clashes are, you know, you can't predict what's going to happen really. He looks a tough opponent, 2-0 I think. I think he's been keeping up with his training hard, and he looks in great shape, and I'm really looking forward to the fight. Not one sticks out, you know. I try and, you know, work on all-round techniques, stand up and, you know, groundwork. You know, it's no secret I like the ground game, but I also love standing up. It's a shame that, you know, my last kind of 5 fights, you know, kind of have gone to the ground at some point and stayed there. But I love, you know, having a good old brawl, and I love like technical stand-up. I think it's going to be a great fight, you know. I think we'll put on a show, and, you know, best man's going to win.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the fighters properly. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 26 years old, stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, and weighed in at 108 kilos. He fights out of Raw MMA and has an undefeated record of 2 contests with 2 wins. Let's hear it for Chris Flanders. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Loughborough. He's 33 years old, stands 6 feet 6 inches tall, and weighed in at 106 kilos. He fights out of Hard Knocks MMA and has a mixed martial arts record of 5 contests, 3 wins with 2 losses. Let's hear it for James Hurrell. This professional contest is fought over 3 5-minute rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fight UK 6. I'm Ben Cartledge, with me as always, Dangerous David Letherby, as we take in the first fight on the professional card, a hard-hitting heavyweight encounter between James Hurrell in the black and red shorts and Chris Flanders in the black shorts. Phenomenal amateur card we've seen so far as we make the ranks to the move to the professional ranks, and a nice jab from Hurrell there. He's really snapping those punches out well. And Hurrell, there's a big shot. I think that's all she wrote. I think that's it. James Hurrell with a hurricane of punches coming forward. Caught his man coming in. Flanders in all kinds of trouble. A really big shot there.
Have our winner.
Wow, what a finish from this big heavyweight.
A finish, massive shot to put him down. An absolute barrage of punches, Ben, on top of him. Brutal, brutal finish.
It's not often we associate the heavyweight mixed martial artists with the speed like that. We often see the power, but the speed that he put those combinations together, it was like lightning. The second that he got his man hurt, he didn't give him any chance to recover. What a win for James Hurrell over a very tough Chris Flanders, who didn't really get out of the blocks, Dave.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after just 23 seconds of the very first round, your referee, Mr. Mark Woodard, calls a stop to this contest due to ground and pound, declaring your winner by TKO from the red corner, James Hurrell. But let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Chris Flanders. Oakley dokley.
Ben Cartledge here at Fight UK 6 with the victorious James Hurrell. And James, what a finish. Did you think it had happened that quickly?
No, I was in my head, I thought he'd go the distance, to be honest. But my game plan was to keep it long, keep my jab going, keep him out of reach, and that's what I did. He kept walking onto him. So, yeah, I'm happy.
And you caught him with a big shot early on. When you caught him with that first punch, did you think that this was going to be the beginning of the end?
Yeah. As soon as I caught him with that first jab, I knew I had it.
And that's a fantastic performance. I mean, is there anybody you'd like to thank off the back of this victory?
Yeah, my 2 coaches, Simon Hall, Donk, and Paul Butlin, Hard Knocks MMA. Go hard or go home.
James Hurrell putting it together, a hurricane of a TKO here at Fight UK. We have got an all-action middleweight encounter for you now as TMR Lore takes on the red-hot Yannick Bahati.
My name is TMR Lore. I'm 29 years old, and I live in Hungary. My master is my Laszlo. We start training with Taekwondo, and after another style, Thai box, and grappling, and after we make an MMA condition, make many running, and after we training with my master on the stand, on the floor, same the grappling, and then I feel very hard. My favorite technique and the elbow, knee and the elbow. So I think it's better for me. I hope I finish it in the first round, on the stand or on the floor. It's no problem for me. I think I more harder than Yannick. I hope for the Yannick. I hope this fight is the fair fight in the cage, but I know the end.
I'm Yannick Bahati, fighting out of UTC Birmingham. I am 1-0 as a professional. I've seen all of his fights. He's quite aggressive. looks like a stand-up guy, like a Thai boxer from Hungary. He's quite tough, quite aggressive. I think his main strength is definitely his leg kicks and his knockout power for sure. I'm not too worried about standing or the ground. To be honest, I look at his fight, he's quite aggressive, but technically he's not on the same level as me standing up. I think I'm superior standing really. I can pretty much do what I want. If I want to take him down, take him down. If I want to get submission or knockout, but I predict a knockout submission in the first round anyway. I think I'm pretty much well-rounded. You know, I'm always in the gym. I don't take time off. You know, I work with the best guys on the ground. You know, jiu-jitsu guys. You know, I've got a good wrestling coach at the gym. We got good Thai coaches there. You know, I got pretty much everything at one place. UTC gym in Birmingham.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Hungary. He's 29 years old, stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighed in at 84 kilos. He fights out of Team Dragon and has a mixed martial arts record of 2 contests with 1 win and 1 loss. Let's hear it for Teama High Voltage Allure. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Birmingham. He's 22 years old, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, and weighed in at 84 kilos. He fights out of UTC and has an undefeated record of 1 contest with 1 win. Let's hear it for Yannick Bhatti. This professional contest is fought over 3 5-minute rounds.
So don't blink here at Fight UK. Middleweight professional action between Yannick Bhatti in the longer black shorts and Teama Law in the black Thai style shorts. Law straight away going for a leg kick. Bhatti just out of range. And Yannick Bhatti, Dave, a fighter that a lot of people are talking about in the UK at the moment.
Yes, Ben, excellent striker, big power. But Laure, Ben, he looked very hyped up for it before the bout. He's definitely not scared of Yannick, and he's looking to trade in these early stages.
Law firing one on the body, nothing on it on that case. Bhatti circling around the outside, as you said, got the reach advantage. Looking to establish that jab early if he can.
Yannick seems to be taking his time, Ben, trying to work out the rhythm perhaps of his opponent. Happy to just sit back now and see what Law's got to offer.
Oh, and there's a nice left hook from Yannick. Oh, and head kick didn't miss by a lot. And there we go, shooting for a big takedown from Bhatti. He's got the hands locked, but Law did a great job of not going to the canvas at that point. Got control of the neck, but not in any kind of guard situation. He's got him in the half guard. But Yannick will be looking to try and free his head. Very hard to finish a guillotine. I don't want to give it the curse to the commentator, Dave, but very hard to finish a guillotine from this situation.
Yeah, from this situation, it's almost got to be more of a crank, Ben. He's definitely putting everything into it, but as we always say, the risk is of burning himself out, and that left arm of his there.
It's a real gamble at that point. From Law's point of view, the more he puts on that choke and the more he doesn't finish, like you say, the harder he's going to burn those arms out. And Bhatti, coming from a good team like UTC, he's got some great training partners, Dave. He won't be panicking in this situation. As you can see, he's just calmly picking his moment to get his leg free.
He's got to be careful here because Law's beginning to try and wrap him up, and he's really cranking on that neck bend.
Got the arm in from this situation. There's no doubt that Law's putting a lot of strain in it, but I think Yannick's going to pop out of it there, and there's the head free. Some elbows coming in from the bottom. And Yannick straight away looking to pass. He gets out of the guard, but a good job of re-guarding from Lore. But Yannick through again, now into the side control position. We've seen him finish fights from here.
A legal knee there from Lore to a grounded opponent. He flashed that knee up to Yannick's face. Yannick complained to the referee.
Referee Mark Woodard, obviously very experienced referee, monitoring the situation and did admonish briefly, but there's that pass to Mount. And will Lore come to regret that knee that he threw? I had the feeling that if Yannick postures up, he's going to land some big elbows, some big punches, and here they come. This is exactly where he didn't want to be, underneath Yannick Bahati in the mount. Oh, and that's a big elbow.
Very high mount. It's going to be very difficult to get a man like Yannick Bahati off you in this position, Ben.
A very powerful middleweight. Zore turns over, but he's got to be careful of not giving the back up as Yannick attacks it straight away. Trying to get the hooks in. He's got them both in there now. And moves straight over to the mount position. This is a clinic for me, Dave, from Yannick Bahati on the ground.
Steps the leg up for posture, and lovely short elbow in there.
The thing I like from Bahati for me, Dave, is there's very little wasted motion. Law's really struggling, and I think here's where we'll see the power differential come into play. Bahati's flattened his man out. This is a bad spot for Law to be in relatively early in this round. And some big punches. He's got to be careful of the back of the head from me, though, there, Dave. Often we see fighters struggling from that position. Law's really struggling now. I don't think he's going to be able to get Bahati off him.
Big shot.
That was a big shot and a nice elbow, and that's a great stoppage from Mark Woodard. What a finish from Yannick Bahati. You can see just why all these people are talking about this man. A dangerous, dangerous prospect at middleweight.
That's it, Ben, and another dimension we see of his game. The ground game was fantastic. The back control was excellent. A massive, massive prospect.
Law very disappointed, but he can't have any complaints with the stoppage. Bahati got his man from the top and simply just unloaded. He landed punch after punch after punch until the referee was left with no choice but to stop that one.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 4 minutes and 8 seconds of the very first round, your referee, Mr. Mark Woodard, calls a stop to this contest due to ground and pound, declaring your winner by TKO from the red corner, Yannick Bahati. Let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Teama Lore.
Ben Carledge here at Fight UK 6 with the victorious Yannick Bahati. Yannick, a very good fighter. Once you had him on the ground, once you were able to land that ground and pound, it seemed like he wasn't able to take the pressure.
Yeah, my game plan was eventually take him on the ground. I didn't have enough time to warm up. That's why I was a bit like shaky standing up. So eventually, I supposed to go on the ground and got be comfortable and finish the fight.
He caught you with a knee on the ground, I believe you thought, an illegal strike, so you had a quick word with the referee. What was said there?
I don't think he knew what I was saying. The ref just told me keep going, but I don't think he understood what I meant. He actually kneed me on the head on the ground, which is illegal, but kept my composure and just kept going.
Fantastic, and Yannick, a great victory here. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
I want to thank all those guys up there, everyone from UTC supporting me, you know, my coaches who called me tonight, Rich Hall and Asim, of course.
Fantastic. Ben Carledge here with the victorious Yannick Bahati at Fight UK 6. We've got a fantastic bantamweight fight for you now as Rob Bunford takes on Roy Allison Jr.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Swansea. He's 29 years old, stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and weighed in at 55 kilos. He's an independent fighter with a mixed martial arts record of 14 contests, 8 wins with 6 losses. Let's hear it for Rob Bunford. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Peterborough. He's 27 years old, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighed in at 61.5 kilos. He fights out of Team Wallet and has a mixed martial arts record of 8 contests, 3 wins and 5 losses. Let's hear it for Roy Allison Jr. This professional contest is fought over 3 5-minute rounds.
So we're set for some bantamweight action here at Fight UK 6. There's Rob Bumford in the black shorts. Takes on Team Warlords, Roy Allison Jr. in the light blue shorts. Both these guys, Dave, no stranger to tough fights. Bumford found a nice 1-2 and landing a good shot through the middle. A real frantic start this, and a huge takedown from Allison.
Unbelievable takedown. Ben looks to secure the back. I've got to say, what fantastic shape Roy Allison Jr. is in. Absolutely shredded at the weight. In mount now. Bumford trying to defend with his legs.
Bumford looking to roll through the back door if he can, almost. If he can pop his head through there. But he's got to be careful leaving an arm in if he does that. Allison showing some good control from the top.
Looking for the armbar, Ben.
Maybe he looks like he's going to try and isolate one of the arms. Maybe a straight on. A lot of submissions from that position, but Bumford doing a good
elbows.
job. But some really hard elbows coming through. Bumford can't stay and take these. A lot of shots coming through. Referee Dean Weir having a good look at the situation. And Allison unbelievably gets reversed by Bumford, who somehow manages to get his way through. What a display of heart that was from Bumford, Dave, as Allison started landing a big series of punches, specifically those elbows.
He certainly can't question Bumford's heart. Excuse me, Ben. He's coming late.
There's a tap, and there's a tap.
Dean Weir very unhappy with Roy Allison Jr. there, not letting go of the submission when asked to do so by the referee. But, you know, there's a lot of adrenaline flowing, Ben. It's not always black and white, these issues. He's apologised, but impressive performance by Roy Allison, taking out the late replacement in Rob Bumford.
Definitely. From Dean Weir's point of view, he went in there and tried to stop the submission as soon as he could. And like I say, I think it was just a question of the adrenaline, really, from Allison, keeping on in that position. Great show of class and respect from both guys.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 20 seconds of the very first round, your winner by tap out due to side choke from the red corner, Roy Allison Jr. Let's give it up for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Rob Bumford.
Ben Carledge here at Fight UK 6 with the victorious Roy Allison Jr. And Roy, you started things off with a massive takedown. I mean, from our position, it looked like he was really hurt from that. Did you think that that could have been the beginning of the end?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. First of all, before I say anything, I just want to say big respect to him, because he took this fight on a day's notice. I was meant to be fighting Danny Welsh. He pushed it out. You're a knob. A day before, it's not good enough. You shouldn't, not, you know, an hour before the weigh-in anyway. Big respect to him for stepping in. But yeah, he come forward fast. You know, I knew he probably weren't going to want the full 15 minutes. That's just one of them.
I mean, did the change of opponent affect you in any way? Did you find mentally it was difficult to adjust?
A little bit, not really. I mean, just a fight's a fight at the end of the day. The other guy I was fighting was a Thai boxer. Didn't really know much about this guy, but at the end of the day, got in, got the win, did what I need to do.
Jobs are good, and after a fantastic win, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, please, can I thank all the Team Warlord, all the Team Rough House, all the Bushido MMA guys, Craig and Lee, all my people that come down to support me, and my sponsors, supplements for bodybuilding.co.uk, Spirit Sports, Fitness Station, and martialartsshop.co.uk.
Ben Carledge here at Fight UK 6 with the clearly elated and victorious Roy Allison Jr. A hard-hitting welterweight encounter for you now as Leon Edwards takes on Delroy McDowell.
My name's Delroy McDowell, out of Birmingham City, weigh 77 kilos. Team is Icon Jiu-Jitsu team out of Milton Keynes, at Northampton, Luton Town as well. It's been very good, a lot of varied training, a lot of sparring, a lot of Jiu-Jitsu. It's been really good, yeah. He's a good kid. He looks like a hot prospect for the future. He should have a bright, future ahead of him. Looks quite well-rounded. That's about it, really. I got he's from Birmingham himself, so I got a lot of love for him. I don't really have a game plan, to be honest. I feel pretty confident wherever the fight goes. I mean, obviously, we're both quite clever guys. We know what's going on here. I know his strengths, He knows my strengths. But sometimes, you know, when you're aware of each other's styles, that makes for a very interesting fight, you know. So I don't mind where it goes at all. That, you know, I don't have any thoughts prior to the fight. Just take it as it goes.
Leon Edwards, UTC Birmingham, weight 37 kg, 2-0 pro. The fight camp went great. Did a lot of cardio, a lot of wrestling, so I feel good. Like, really. I'm more rounded and good at everything, so the jiu-jitsu don't really phase me really. So at the end of the day, it's an MMA match, not a jiu-jitsu match, you know what I mean? It does gi jiu-jitsu and everything, so it's different when you're sweating in there, you ain't no gi to hold on to, when you're getting punched in your face. It's different, and it's MMA, not jiu-jitsu. Wherever it goes, it's taken out.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Birmingham. He's 37 years old, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, and weighed in at 77 kilos. He fights out of Icon Jiu-Jitsu and has a perfect mixed martial arts record of 2 contests with 2 wins. Let's hear it for Delroy More Fire McDowell. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Birmingham. He's 20 years old, stands 6 feet even, and weighed in at 77 kilos. He fights out of UTC, and also has a perfect mixed martial arts record of 2 contests with 2 wins. Let's hear it for Leon Rocky Edwards. This middleweight contest is fought over 3 5-minute rounds, and tonight, someone's O must go.
And here come the welterweights. And David Letheby, you could cut the anticipation, the atmosphere with a knife as a huge head kick comes out. Delroy McDowell in the black shorts with the orange decal against Leon Edwards in the black and white bad boy shorts. These two did not take their eyes off each other during the stare down.
No, Ben, we've seen Leon Edwards before, an excellent striker. And John Hand on the Fight UK staff here has told me about Delroy McDowell's grappling credentials. Apparently, he's a very, very handy purple belt. This could be very, very interesting.
McDowell snapping that head kick nicely. McDowell, for me, looking the larger of the 2 fighters. Much bigger welterweight, and he's firing that kick up. That's Leon countered nicely then. 3 punches. All nice crisp hooks. Not a lot of wasted motion on those for me. Swing and a miss from McDowell.
Edwards so relaxed.
And so often we see it, David, the fighters who come out of the UTC camp so well prepared, and a head kick of his own. You talked about Edwards, we've seen previously at Fight UK 4, and famously we saw him at the Fight UK 5 when he had that incredible back and forth war with Pavel Zavivka, where he caught Pavel with a lot of really big shots, specifically all coming from the left hand side. Big left hook, left knee to the body. A very, very dangerous fighter. And snapping those kicks out.
McDowell engages, looking for the takedown, struggling to come to terms with Edwards. Speed and motion on the feet, I think.
Got an underhook on the right hand side, looking to It's a real battle of hand position for wrist position in this clinch situation now. As McDowell throws a few quick uppercuts. And a real battle for position here. And often we talk about it, Dave. I mean, a lot of fighters use this position, this clinch position. To the neutral observer, it can look somewhat static, but this is an extremely physically fatiguing position because both fighters are giving 100% effort straight on against each other.
Certainly, Ben. Leon Edwards showing excellent grappling defense here. But to work that whizzer on the other side to avoid the takedown.
And it's clear what Delroy wants to do. He's looking to negotiate this fight to the mat if he can. But what else he's doing is he's making Leon really work. He almost tried to pull back and pull guard there, but nothing doing really. Edwards backed up and he's now happy in the striking ranges.
McDowell's hands coming a bit low, Ben. He's also got his mouth open now. Maybe that intensity that he showed before the fight, maybe taking its toll on his cardio here during this first period.
We've seen it happen so often, Dave. I mean, it's a big stage to fight on here at Fight UK. There's a lot of very good welterweights in the division. Wins and losses mean so much. 2 undefeated fighters, both 2-0. McDowell firing a leg kick once again, going for that takedown. And we're back to this clinch situation once again. Now with McDowell moving to the single. He's got his man up, maybe if you can get him down. But Edwards showing some good takedown defense, just hopping through.
Looking to run that pipe and get Edwards down to the ground.
That's great takedown defense. And straight to double unders as well. Oh, and a big shot swinging from McDowell, doesn't quite connect. So now Edwards comes down and on top.
Edwards, Ben, perhaps aware of the grappling credential and prowess of McDowell, content to see his man stand back up.
Well, you only had to look at the corner of Edwards the second it went to the floor. Both his cornermen animated. Yannick Bahati there stood up and said, just get back up, get away, get away. And to fair credit to Edwards, at just 20 years of age and a massively experienced fighter, listened to his corner perfectly and just backed up. And it makes perfect sense. I mean, why engage in a range where you know your opponent is dangerous? Some nice knees coming into the body, but another one from Edwards. Both fighters exchanging at this point. McDowell looking to make that size and that power work for him from this position. But Edwards has showed very good defense from here.
Especially as you mentioned at the start of the bout, he does look physically the much smaller man.
There's a nice knee to the body from Edwards. But McDowell relentlessly coming forward. And just 10 seconds left and a takedown Cheyenne. Edwards was incredibly well to defend that. His takedown defense has been absolutely fantastic. And what a fantastically close first round. All action between Leon Edwards and Delroy McDowell.
Very, very difficult round to score, Ben. McDowell obviously pushing the pace, getting Edwards up against the wall, but Edwards in turn showing excellent takedown defense. I mean, it's good to see that a striker of his caliber is obviously concentrating a lot on his weaknesses in the gym, and he's working that defense for this very occasion when a guy like McDowell is chasing you down and wanting to press you up against that cage and get you down to the ground.
From Edwards, what we've seen is another dimension to his game. I mean, the last fight we talked against Pavel at Fight UK 5, he came up against an aggressive striker who was coming forward. He didn't have to deal with somebody like Delroy McDowell who was pushing the pace and trying for takedowns. He's shown another side to his game, and it's always impressive to see fighters show a real multifaceted approach.
It's going to be interesting, Ben, to see how McDowell comes out. If he looks to get it to the ground, is he going to try and push him up against the cage? Perhaps he could mix up the strikes and maybe shoot him for a double on the outside.
We will see as these fighters come out for the second round. Welterweight action here at Fight UK 6. Been an all action night of fights so far. Delroy McDowell and Leon Edwards here.
McDowell's got to be careful of those hands, Ben. Although he's not in range for a punch, he's definitely in range for a high kick, and Leon Edwards isn't afraid to throw them.
And Edwards standing southpaw has got a lot of weapons there. Well, coming in from the left-hand side, the straight left hand. And we've seen him punish opponents with knees to the body.
Big looping left hand.
Both just backing up a little bit. Clearly respect each other from this range. I think Edwards just found the kick might have gone a little low there. Another snapping front kick. Edwards so explosive, Dave. These shots can come completely out of nowhere.
That's why McDowell's got to be really careful with that right hand, Ben. It's creeping lower and lower. Beautiful inside leg kick from Edwards.
Mixing it up nicely. Both fighters. Oh, and I think that one might have been low. That one did look like it strayed a little bit low.
Yeah, definitely strayed low. I mean, how many times have we seen it, Ben, with these inside leg kicks?
Edwards moved to a neutral corner. McDowell have 5 minutes. He's got the time to recover. And so often we see it, Dave. I mean, clearly not intentional, but that's the danger of throwing the technique like that with that kind of ferocity.
Yeah,
it only takes a slight movement from either direction, a slight variation of a degree or so, and you can see straight away the results. A kick like that can put a man to the canvas.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the interesting thing now, Edwards taking further instruction from his corner, looking to work his combos, he's shadow boxing there. Edwards, it looks to be taking some great instruction here, and it'll be going to be interesting what he's looking for. For me, I think the corner are motioning to get in that tie clinch and use some knees, so it'll be interesting to see when McDowell comes back, whether he goes to look for that. But how do you think that could affect McDowell in the fight, Ben? I mean, you've seen the likes of Cro Cop against Overeem.
Mark Hunt and Chris Toucher as well.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, do you think he's at a disadvantage for the rest of the bout?
It's very hard to say. I mean, he's got the time to recover, but I mean, how long does it take? I mean, how much of a toll is that going to take on a fighter? I mean, as I said before, when we saw, I believe it was Gabriel Gonzaga actually against Chris Toucher, where he landed that thunderous groin shot. Toucher went on to lose the bout by a TKO because he never quite recovered. Even with the 5 minutes, he didn't recover.
Yeah.
And so many times we see it. It's a really tough spot to be in. It's not intentional, but unfortunately it is a hazard of the game when you've got fighters like that throwing low kicks.
Referee having a quiet word with Leon Edwards. I'm sure nothing further than that.
I think he is just going to admonish him, give him a bit of a warning. I think I heard him say they let him know that if there's a repeat offence, then he may have to look at point deductions.
Double fingers put up from Leon Edwards.
And Edwards looking for that kick, can't quite get it. Unfortunately, as he fell backwards. Straight underneath, not where he'll want to be.
McDowell capitalised well, Ben. He jumped on that opportunity with the slip from Edwards.
A bit of a gift in that situation.
Certainly.
McDowell's got the fight to the canvas and he hasn't had to work to get it there, really. He's just had to capitalise on his man who came out a little too aggressive through that kick and just slipped.
Well, how often do we say that about Leon Edwards? Never. The guy is ice cold usually. He throws up the double middle fingers. Next thing you know, he's thrown a hasty high kick and he's down on the ground.
From Edwards' point of view, for me, Davey's doing the right thing here by trying to just control his opponent's posture, but now it looks like he's lost it. McDowell's got to look for grabbing the shorts here. Referee Dean Weir very wary of the situation.
Edwards looking for a triangle, Ben.
Looking to throw those legs up. And we talked about the jiu-jitsu rank, the jiu-jitsu pedigree, but obviously in MMA, completely different situation when you factor in punches, when you factor in fatigue.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, it's not as if UTC is a striking-only gym. You know, they've got excellent grappling coaches down there. And as we say that, Leon Edwards looking to sink in the triangle.
He looks to throw the triangle choke over. What a feather in his cap this would be if he could submit. A decorated grappler, what he's got to try and do is close the gap a little bit more.
McDowell has his hand slightly through, steps over.
McDowell did very well there, but looking to attack the leg. Rolled through for a knee bar there. McDowell looking to take advantage if he can, but Edwards doing the right thing. Holding nice and close to his man, compressing that limb. Not giving him a lot of room to work.
Fantastic grappling exchange, Ben. Fantastic stuff.
McDowell showing that high-level pedigree that we've said. Even attempting a technique like this But Edwards folding himself over on that leg quite nicely there, and there's a big shot. That'll give him something else to think about. And this is so often the thing we say, committing to leg locks is a complete lottery in mixed martial arts when you've got fighters on top who can ground and pound.
Yeah, it really, really is. You've got to go for the leg lock and know when to give it up. You know, too many fighters hold on to him. Famously in the UK, the example's always given is Frank Mir versus Ian Freeman.
Definitely. There's a nice low kick from Edwards now. Slightly more relaxed once again. McDowell looking extremely fatigued in this situation, Dave. I think he really put a lot into that situation when he found himself on the top. Tried to finish, but couldn't really get a lot of doing, and ended up having to defend. A very good triangle attempt from Leon Edwards. Oh, and there's that left hand again.
You can see a high kick coming, Ben. Edwards seems to be measuring his man up.
Throwing the hips a little bit as well, and there's a nice left to the body. Edwards turning it on now, and there's a shoot coming forward. That's great takedown defense, sprawling back, and now maybe the knees will come, and there's a big one. Oh, these knees are brutal. McDowell ate two, and he really didn't want another one there. McDowell done really well there. Not to get caught up in that situation, not to eat too many of those big shots, and now he's turned it around. But Edwards has got the fight. Maybe he's looking for a late takedown right at the end of the round.
Nice to see Edwards mix it up, Ben, and obviously in the eyes of the judges at the end of the round there, maybe put an exclamation point on it for him. Great back and forth fight, and the grappling exchange, Ben, was as interesting as the stand-up exchanges have been.
Definitely a very, very close fight for a lot of reasons. Delroy McDowell showing that, as we talked about at the start, that grappling pedigree, even confidently attempting a technique like the knee bar from that situation. But so often we see it, ended up catching a lot of punches from there. Leon Edwards, after the restart for the low shot, showed a bit too much emotion.
Yeah.
Threw the double fingers out there, and then threw a big high kick, overcompensated, and then from that point on he was forced to really work from that situation.
Yeah, certainly, and as I said, it's very out of character for Edwards, usually ice cold. I think his corner will probably be having a word with him now not to get too carried away again. It's interesting, you mentioned the cardio aspect earlier, McDowell perhaps looking tighter. Often the larger, more muscular fighters, they will use more oxygen, Ben, and they will get tighter quicker than somebody that's just lean like Edwards is. So it'd be interesting whether cardio becomes an issue in this final period. The local crowd chanting UTC in support of Leon Edwards.
Final round here in what's been a very entertaining welterweight encounter. Leon Edwards in the black and white bad boy shorts against Delroy McDowell in the Black Eagle shorts with the orange decal. Both undefeated. Pace really slowing down somewhat, as you might expect after two very frantic earlier rounds.
Yeah,
nice.
Excuse me, Ben, that really suits Edwards as well. This sort of pace of working on the outside, working the leg kicks, the single shots, that's going to suit Edwards down to a T.
Both exchanging those low kicks. McDowell's motion's looking somewhat laboured now for me, Dave. There doesn't seem to be as much spring in his step, and there's some big shots coming forward. McDowell closing the range as well, he needed to. And now he's got the fight where he wanted it. We talked about the emotion of Leon Edwards. Just hung around in the pocket a little bit too long for me there, Dave.
Yeah.
Threw a lot of very, very wild looking punches, and it's something we don't usually see, something we don't usually connect with someone like Leon Edwards. Like you say, usually very crisp, very calculating from the outside, but got in that close range and just began throwing wild punches looking for the finish.
Certainly, it's a thin line to know when to step it up. Perhaps he's looking at McDowell and seeing that the guy is clearly tiring in front of him, but just a bit too soon, and now we're going to see what McDowell can do in the top position, and Edwards does brilliantly to turn his man over and now starts to land some ground and pound of his own.
Under the professional rules, the elbows can come into play. No doubt Edwards will be looking to land some elbows if he can. McDowell looking to work from the bottom, Dave, but he looks incredibly fatigued. Edwards has got his man on top and he's got him in the corner. And what he'll want to do is just try and land as many strikes as he can from this position. McDowell, for me, Dave, almost looking like he's stalling a little bit.
Yeah, he looks content to catch some breath here, Ben. Try and get some stamina back. He's flat on his back. He's not really working as of yet. Trying to get some energy back before moving those hips and looking for a submission.
Good stand-up for the referee in my books.
McDowell looks exhausted, Ben.
Very slow to get back to his feet. I think mentally he could be very, very close to the edge, and we see Leon's corner.
Big left hand.
Out there. And there's a left hand, and there's a big knee.
The issue is, Ben, was he down?
It's very hard for us to see from this position. Was the knee down at that point as he was coming in? It's down to the referee.
It's a very interesting situation, Ben, because I'm not sure, as an early indication, whether McDowell can continue. And with the cardio the way it is, would he want to, Ben?
No, very true, Dave. It's a very tough situation, this one. It'll all come down to how the referee sees it. Not sure officially what the decision was. The medic's just attending to McDowell. Was he coming in looking for the takedown? Did he have a knee down?
The referee's waved it off.
Waving it off. It'd be interesting to see what the official decision is. I mean, we're speculating really as to what had actually happened there. If McDowell did have a knee down, Dave, and obviously he can't continue, he'd take the bout via disqualification.
It should be a very unfortunate ending for Leon Edwards, who's been excellent really in all ranges. He showed brilliant defensive wrestling, and then just when he stepped up with the strikes, a stray knee's gone out there. I mean, McDowell still looks very hurt, Ben. It's sort of involuntary reactions on the ground here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, our medical team are just giving a bit of treatment. It's all obviously cursory. Fighter safety is a priority here at Fight UK.
As we await the official verdict from MC Andy Sledge.
Dalrymp McDowell just receiving some attention there from the paramedic team. Got some oxygen there for him. But I mean, we say it so many times, Dave. I mean, who'd be a referee? A very tough call to make that one. Very, very tough. It was clear what the intent was from both fighters.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, in that split second, without the use of a replay, I mean, how can you tell at that pace, you know, and the referee's position? For me, as a hunch, and that's all it would be, Ben, I'd say that perhaps he did have a hand down, but of course there's no way it was intentional for me from Edwards, which is the real disappointing thing for Edwards, because he is probably going to end up losing his unbeaten record here to a disqualification, which is disappointing on the back of such a commanding performance, really.
I think we just got it confirmed from our resident MC Andy Sledge there, Dave. It is actually a DQ. So Leon Edwards obviously penalised for landing that knee, which clearly the referee has judged that McDowell had more than 2 points of contact.
Yeah, and that's all they can do. That's the letter of the law. And if he did have contact on the floor, then that is a foul, Ben, and a disqualification is the right result. I guess it's just a disappointing thing because coming into the fight, neither fighter nor the fans here, nobody wants to see the fight end that way, you know. It was a big hype behind the bout, a bit of bad blood that was shown during it, and for it to end this way is really disappointing. Perhaps Fight UK can look at matching these two up again in the future. I'd certainly like to see a rematch.
I mean, a very even fight up until that point. It'd be interesting to see who was ahead on the scorecard. You could have said that both fighters had points where they were dominant. Some great wrestling, some good strong ground and pound from both guys. Edwards probably for me just edging it on the feet, but unfortunately, and as you say, David, it's the fact that it's the instinct at that point. He saw the knee there and he threw it. He wasn't concentrating on where the hand was on the mat. He wasn't concentrating on position. He saw the shot there and he went for it. He hit the shot and the shot's ended the fight, but unfortunately it's not ended the fight in the fashion that he'd like.
Sure. I mean, for Leon Edwards, despite the loss on his record, he's got to take out of the fact that he's had an excellent performance, and of course there's areas that he can improve on as well. His emotion maybe got the better of him a couple of times in this fight, which is rare for him, so he can look at that for his future fights. And perhaps that was something to do with the knee that was thrown. I'm not saying it was intentional, but Leon Edwards in another fight, does he throw that knee? You know, I'm not so sure. So it'll be interesting to see Leon Edwards next out, and I'd love it if these two could get it on again.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 40 seconds of round 3, your referee, Mr. Dean Weir, calls a stop to this contest due to an illegal knee to the head of a downed fighter, disqualifying Leon Edwards, declaring your winner by disqualification from the blue corner, Delroy More Fire McDowell. But let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Leon Edwards.
The bantamweight title is on the line as Dino Gambetesa meets Carsten Landjoint.
My name's Dino Gambetesa. I fight in the bantamweight division and fight out with Chris Reese Academy in Swansea. Current professional record is 9 wins, 6 losses. Preparation's gone really well. I feel fit, strong. Been training on, working on a few things. Had a look at Carsten and we got a game plan. So yeah, he seems a pretty good all-rounder. He's a big, strong guy, but for bantamweight, I think there's not many out there that are as strong as me. I've got a really good tempo, and I can sustain it for the full fight. So yeah, I'm pretty happy wherever the fight goes. So we've prepared if it stays on his feet, or if it goes to the ground. We're prepared for both ways to go for a decision. But if I hurt him or submissions, then I'm going to take it and finish the fight as early as possible.
The Archer Langlois. My weight is now bantamweight, dropped down from featherweight. Fighting on Fight UK for the vacant bantamweight title. My record's 7-1 and I'm fighting out of Nottingham. I'm probably a grappler, submission wrestler style fighter, but I can strike, I can wrestle, so I'm quite happy in all areas. It won't really matter to me where the fight goes. To be honest, I'm pretty happy in all areas with Dino. Not saying it's going to be easy by any means. He's real tough and he's very dangerous. But I just think I'm a little bit better in each area anyway, so if it goes to the floor, I'm happy there. If it stays standing, I'm happy there. You have to be a rounded fighter, a good rounded fighter these days, so any area is good for me. I'm sure you're going to bring it, I'm definitely going to bring it, and I'm sure we'll be a good fight for the crowd.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the challengers properly. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Swansea. He's 27 years old, stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighed in at 61.5 kilos. He fights out of Chris Reese Academy and has a mixed martial arts record of 15 contests, 9 wins and 6 losses. Let's hear it for Dino Gambetesa. And his opponent, the challenger, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 31 years old, stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 61.5 kilos. He fights out of Leicester Shoot Fighters and has a mixed martial arts record of 8 contests, 7 wins with 1 loss. Let's hear it for Carsten, the Archer Lajoie. This title fight is fought over 3 5-minute rounds.
Okay, gentlemen, you understand the rules of the fight now? Do you have any questions about those rules? Okay, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch him out, best of luck to both of you. Back you go.
So here we go, the third of our title fights, Dave, and what a cracker this is going to be. The vacant bantamweight strap. Dino Gambetesa with the white shorts of the Union Jack against TUF qualifier Carsten Lejoint in the white shorts. Lejoint making his debut here at bantamweight. Dave, will be interesting to see how he adjusts to the cut.
Yeah, it's a big test in Gambetesa to take at your debut at a new weight. He's been in there with the likes of Brad Pickett, all sorts of guys. Very, very experienced Gambetesa.
Very dangerous grappler from Swansea, Gracie Barha. Holds a TKO when Dave over the very durable Brad Wheeler. It just goes to show the kind of finishing power that Gambetesa has. But Carsten, we've seen here before, a powerful striker at featherweight. Oh, and a nice counter left hook there from Dino.
Gambetesa's really putting some heat on these punches, Ben.
Got to be careful that he's not going to telegraph his punches too much, but like you say, he's really throwing a finish. Carsten coming forward, trying to feel his opponent out. Or as you say, Gambetesa been in there with some tough guys.
Wild uppercut there, Ben. Gambetesa, I've never seen him come out this aggressively with strikes.
And throws a nice head kick there. Carsten did well just to get the hand up there. Gambetesa really coming out for me, David. Looks like he's got a real point to prove here. He wants that belt.
Lejoint taking his time, looking to go straight down the middle. Clinches his man up against the cage. Looking for the trip.
Carsten gets his man up and gets his man down. For Gambetesa, we've seen that grappling pedigree, Dave. We've seen him finish people from this position. Very good groundwork. He won't be panicked in this situation, but Lejoint landed some nice elbows.
Nice short elbows from Lejoint, catching the judge's eye.
Lejoint just working through now. Gambetesa's able to swim round. He's mindful of the neck. He comes forward and he's looking to complete the single if he can. Carsten doing the right thing.
Maybe looking for a guillotine in here, Lejoint.
It's a technique we've seen Lejoint use before. And from Gambetesa's point of view, it's a technique that we've seen him beaten with before. James Doolan defeated Dino Gambetesa at Omac with a similar technique. Gambetesa now in a more aggressive position. He's got the double unders. Maybe looking to land a few shots if he can. He's already landed some nice knees.
Question is for Gambetesa, can he get his man Lejoint down to the ground?
Oh, there's obviously a big uppercut and some nice knees from Carsten.
Massive knees.
Dino's got to be careful. He's got to try and free himself from this clinch situation. Just throw some wild punches and a knee of his own. Oh, and there's a big shot.
Big left hook.
There's a nice left hook from Gambetesa, and there's another one coming forward. He's throwing everything, and that's a big body shot. He's put his man down.
Shot.
He's put his man down. Gambetesa takes the title. It was that huge, cracking body kick that put his man down, and he was relentless in pursuing that finish.
Absolutely brutal kick to the body, just folded up Lejoint like laundry, Ben. Gambetesa on top of the cage. He loves that victory. What a massive win it is for him.
Unbelievable. What a way to win a title here at Fight UK. Dino Gambetesa storms the gate, finishes his opponent when he had him hurt with that body kick. What a fight.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 minutes and 12 seconds of the very first round, your referee, Mr. Mark Woodard, calls a stop to this contest due to ground and pound, declaring your winner by TKO and new Fight UK bantamweight champion from the blue corner, Dino Gambetesa. Well, let's hear it for a very worthy challenger. Let's hear it for Carsten Lajoie.
Ben Cartlidge here at Fight UK 6 with the new bantamweight champion, Dino Gambetesa. Tell me, Dino, how does that sound?
Feels absolutely amazing. I knew Carsten was going to be a super tough fight. He's a big bantamweight, as you can see. He's a monster for. He's a big featherweight. He's a monster for bantamweight. I know I'm at the nod, so I let it all hang out there. And luckily, I caught him with one shot on another day. He was to say he couldn't beat me, but I'll take it every time.
That's fantastic. I mean, was the plan to stand it and bang it out then? Because you came out throwing very heavy shots, and you caught him with that big body kick.
Yeah. The thing is, like I said, I know I'm at the nod for bantamweight, and I'm strong. And Carsten's he's got a bullying style. So if you let yourself be bullied, 9 times out of 10 he'll just go through you. But you have to meet them in the middle. It's the only way. So yeah, it worked.
That's fantastic. And is there anybody you'd like to thank after this victory?
I'd like to thank Chris and Stephen for my corner for doing all the training. Stephen Harris has fetched my stand-up on a hell of a lot. As you can see, he's much improved. And basically, all the fans that have ever watching me, thank you.
That's fantastic. Fight UK, brand new bantamweight champion, Ben Cartlidge here with Dino Gambetesa. Coming up now, we have the main event of the evening, the light heavyweight championship between the champion Fraser Opie and a rematch against Dan Edwards.
Fraser Opie from Immortal MMA in Milton Keynes. Background is kickboxing and a record of 8-5 in pro MMA. I've progressed immensely since then. I mean, that was nearly 3 years ago. I've done a lot more on my ground game, working with Danny Batten, Linton Vassell as a training partner. A lot has changed. I mean, it's 3 years ago. He needs to know that. Definitely my striking is my main component, but I'd say strength, when I get on top of someone, I'm a nightmare to get off. So if I get top position, it's generally where the fight ends. As my stats show, ground and pound is my forte, so I'd say that's my definite strength would be that. And I've become a lot harder to submit now, which was a weak point of mine. Wherever the fight takes it, I'm not going to predict anything. Wherever it ends up, I'm happy in any component of the game, so winning or wherever. At the end of the day, I know it's fighting in that, but you know, he's brave over emails. When I saw him now, he wasn't so brave. So, different story when you're face to face.
Dan Edwards, represent Urban Kings, fighting at light heavyweight. Record, I think it's 9-6, it says on Sherdog. It's been good. Obviously, you know, people get injured and you get sick and up and down, but you just deal with it. Other than that, you know, the gym's great. Everyone there is fantastic. Like, I've been getting the best training I've ever had. So yeah, things are good. Everything's gotten better. I think my stand-up's getting a lot better, which I'd like to show tomorrow. I'm in better shape now than I've ever been. So yeah, you know, obviously Fraser's the same thing. You know, the fight was about 3 years ago, and Fraser's gone from strength to strength. So I've got a lot of respect for Fraser. It should be a good fight. I think everyone takes me as a jiu-jitsu guy, so I guess I'd have to say jiu-jitsu. But I want to stand up. Most importantly to me is giving an entertaining fight. You know, win or lose, I don't really mind too much. As long as the fight, you know, the fans like the fight, I'm happy. I'm going to stand up. Like, if you watch the first fight, Fraser tried to take me down. You know, I kicked Fraser in the face, he shot on me. You know, I'm not going to look to take the fight to the floor. If it happens, it happens. But you know, I want to stand up. I want to have a good fight. Fraser will have a good fight, and you know, best man wins.
Introducing first, our challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from London. He's 24 years old, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, and weighed in at 93 kilos. He fights out of Urban Kings and has a mixed martial arts record of 15 contests, 9 wins and 6 losses. Let's hear it for Dan Edwards. And our champion, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Milton Keynes. He's 28 years old, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, and weighed in at 93 kilos. He fights out of Immortal MMA and has a mixed martial arts record of 13 contests, 8 wins and 5 losses. He is the reigning and defending undisputed light heavyweight champion for Fight UK, Fraser the Oman Opie. This title contest is fought over 3 5-minute rounds.
Gentlemen, do you both understand the rules you're fighting under? Do you have any questions? Okay, obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times. Okay, touch him up, back you go, best legs both.
And it comes down to this, the main event of Fight UK 6. I'm Ben Cartledge, and with me this evening has been Dangerous David Letherby on a fantastic night of fights. We've had it all, TKOs, submissions, some great fights, but this is the main event of the evening. Fraser Opie in the black bad boy shorts, defending his light heavyweight title against Dan Edwards in the short black shorts, and immediately it's Opie who's on top, and that's exactly where he'll want to be.
Interesting to note, Ben, noted Muay Thai striker Pete Irvin coming off an excellent victory at UK1 UCMA in Edwards' corner, so perhaps he's been working a lot on his stand-up. I know the guys down at Urban Kings have an excellent base in Muay Thai.
If he got a hold of his man there, but Edwards doing well and pushing forward. Got to be careful leaving the neck out there. And obviously, Dave, these two no strangers to each other, having fought previously. Edwards taking the victory, so a real kind of, say, grudge match almost, but there'll be no secret of Opie's intent as he throws a big head kick but is unable to land, but does just about enough to maintain the top position and slides very nicely through the guard there.
Very effortlessly passes the guard of Dan Edwards there.
Very slick movement for a light heavyweight, and a big light heavyweight at that.
Edwards does well to hold on to the half guard. Opie looking for a choke here, Ben.
Rolling through for the Anaconda choke if he can get it. And
what a turn up this would be after losing via submission in the first match.
And Opie obviously a very, very powerful light heavyweight. Got crushing strength. Everything that he tries in those necks, those submissions. But Edwards didn't panic. Carried on coming forward. It looks like he may have the takedown himself, and he does.
Excellent back and forth grappling battle between these two in the main event here at Fight UK.
And neither of these fighters, Dave, it's notable, have ever been the distance in their entire pro careers. A real kill or be killed mentality, and I think that's what we're seeing from both guys here. Fraser Opie fought some tough guys, coming off a TKO win at Bama 7. And Dan Edwards, we talked about him earlier, Dave, fought all manner of tough contenders. Recently fought new UFC signing Magnus Siedenblad, so no stranger of top-level competition for either the champion, Fraser Opie, or the challenger, Dan Edwards.
Opie looks to take Edwards back here, Ben.
Opie's groundwork has been remarkably fluid, something you don't generally tend to associate with the bigger guys, the light heavyweights, the heavyweights, and now he locks the body triangle in, and he'll be looking to work for the rear naked choke, and it looks like he's got it almost straight away.
Edwards looks to tap.
And there's the tap. Fraser Opie via submission.
fantastic performance by Fraser Opie. Turns the tables, Ben, loses the first match by submission, and just shows how much he's grown as a fighter, Ben. Comes back and takes out Dan Edwards in the first round via submission himself.
A perfect way for him to get that win back in the exact same method that his opponent took it from him in the first one. And that power differential, we talked about it quite a lot. Opie looking the bigger, stronger guy. For me, the key for Opie was the fluidity of his grappling. Every pass was effortless. Every submission attempt was very smooth, very well drilled. And let's be honest, Dave, Fraser Opie's known for his heavy hands, known for finishing fights. With a slick ground game like that he showed against Dan Edwards, he could be a real contender at light heavyweight.
After 2 minutes and 49 seconds of the very first round, your winner due to a tap out by rear naked choke, and still the Fight UK light heavyweight champion from the blue corner, Fraser the Omen Opie. But let's hear it for a very worthy challenger. Let's hear it for Dan Edwards.
Ben Carledge here with the victorious Fraser Opie in the main event of Fight UK 6. And Fraser, we talked about the fact that you'd fought this guy before and he'd submitted you. Is it extra special that you were able to take him out here and get the win by a submission?
Hell yeah, I've been working on my ground game so much. And just to pull off a submission specialist means a lot. Obviously getting the win back means even more, and doing it with a sub. I didn't even catch it with a punch, so I'm a happy man.
I mean, what was the game plan going into this fight? Were you looking to stand and bang it out with him on the feet, or did you think maybe if you took him down you could get some joy from the top position?
I'll be totally honest, I mean, I was going to try to keep range, hurt him with a few strikes, and maybe get top position, ground and pound. But he had very active hips, very good hips. So unfortunately, I mean, I was ill a couple of weeks ago, so I knew my gas tank wouldn't be that good. So I thought, play it safe, don't blow it out, and strategy worked.
And coming off this fantastic victory, is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
All my sponsors, all my guys, Darren, Danny, Lee Edwards, all my sponsors, 16 Bars, MMA Sports Nutrition, everyone, if I've forgotten anyone, I'm really sorry, and all my fans out there, all of them that come along to support me.
Ben Carledge here with the victorious champion, Fraser Opie. Fight UK 6 is in the books. We promised you a fantastic night of fights, and did it ever deliver? But a lot of people will be leaving this arena talking about the performance of our new bantamweight champion, Dino Gambetesa.
Dino Gambetesa, Ben, came in as the underdog in many people's eyes. Carsten Len joined, making his debut down at bantamweight, and he met a firecracker in Dino Gambetesa. Met his man in the middle of the cage, pushed the pace, and what a phenomenal TKO. Body kick looked absolutely brutal. Sensational performance from Dino.
And in the main event of the evening, Fraser Opie said he wanted to get that loss off his record against the submission specialist, and he did it with a submission of his own.
Yeah, he did. Fraser looked great. He showed great wrestling, and his submission game's obviously improving all the time. Fraser's going to be a light heavyweight prospect that everybody's going to have to watch out for in the UK, and a very worthy Fight UK champion.
This has been Fight UK 6. For me, Ben Carledge, and David Letherby. We'll see you next time.